Hi, it's Tyler from Occasionally Outdoors, and today I'm going to show you what's in my fire kit. So a fire kit is just a small container or box, and basically a kit that you would put together to bring firelight materials, fire starting materials, tinders, when you're on a hike or a camp out, or just when you want to start a fire. So I keep mine in a metal box, and I really recommend you keep them in something like a metal box. It'll keep stuff dry, it'll keep stuff from getting beat up and lost, and just generally keep everything contained. The box can also be used for making char cloth. So the first thing we have in here is a ferrous rod. Ferrous rod is just a metal rod that once it's struck with a hard or abrasive metal surface, it makes a spark. Works in the rain, works in the cold, pretty easy to use. Not as easy as a lighter, but you don't always have a lighter, or you run out of fuel. Alternative to a ferrous rod, I don't keep it in my fire kit, but I quite often bring it with me when I'm going camping, is a blast match. A blast match is basically the same concept, it's just everything contained in one. It requires a little less skill. You just hold your tinder in one hand and strike. It makes it a little bit easier. You can't lose it. And they're pretty handy. The next thing in here I have is a bellows. A bellows is just basically a telescopic tube that you can use to keep your fire going, blow on the embers, feed it a little more oxygen without getting your face near the smoke or near the heat. Because the last thing you want to do is start blowing on a fire, hyperventilate, and then pass out with your face in a fire. So this is a new old thing. These things have definitely come back into style. A lot of people are starting to use these again, but this concept has really been around since the dawn of time, I think. So works pretty good. Simple. On to tinders. So I have two tinders I usually bring with me. Just a frayed jute. So this is jute cloth or jute string that's been pulled apart. It catches a spark from a ferrous rod or from flint and steel quite easily. Or you can use char cloth and transfer the ember to this and get it to light up. And then this is cotton balls that have been rubbed or dipped in Vaseline. Vaseline or petroleum jelly, same thing. So this will light in the rain, this will light in cold, this will light in wind. If you have no other tinders and no other way to catch a spark, this works really well. I've used this a few thousand times and it has never let me down once. The next is flint and steel. I'm admittedly not very good with flint and steel. So this is just a small piece of chert. We don't get flint in this area and we don't get chert in this area, so my dad actually got this for me from England, I think. And he ordered it on Amazon, and then a flint striker. So the concept is basically you just strike on it and on one of the sharp pieces, so on that side, and you'll get a spark. And then you would catch it in char cloth, but I don't have any char cloth made up right now. To make char cloth, you just take this, you put it in this tin, you put it in the tin, as I already said, and then you just throw it in the fire. And then you wait until smoke starts coming out of it, and that's pretty much it. It keeps forever. You want to have the char cloth black, but you don't want to have it fall apart to ash. We'll demonstrate that in a little bit. So we're just going to make a little bit of char cloth here. So we're just going to light a very small fire in my fireplace. So I already got some kindling and stuff in there, and a few pieces of wood. So we're going to take a piece of mothball. Put it on there. So when you're doing a flint striker or a ferrous rod or something like that, I usually say pull your striker away and keep one hand rigid. So what happens is, if you are doing this, one, you don't smash your knuckles into stuff, and two, you don't disturb your pile of tinder. So that light's pretty easy. We're not going to build a big fire because I'm just doing this to make a little bit of char cloth. I'm just going to demonstrate our bellows here. All right, so we're gonna make a little bit of char cloth now. This doesn't need to be super hot, even though it's really freaking hot already. That's why we cast iron stove, so we're just gonna throw that in there for a few minutes. So that's been in there for a few minutes, so now we're going to pull it out and check. So that's char cloth. Doesn't fall apart. You can tear it slightly. So let's see if we can get that to catch an ember from my flint and steel. I'm terrible at this, but we'll try. So you try to hold it and wrap it up in that a little bit. Get the sharp edge facing forward.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Let's try that again. I cooked this too much. Oh, there we go. All right, I'm gonna try not to light my barbecue or table on fire. Put a little tiny piece of this on there. And we have successfully made fire. So we're just going to put everything back in. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. So that was what I have in my fire kit. That's how to make char cloth, and that's how to catch a spark on a piece of char cloth. Admittedly, that part wasn't very informative because I'm not good at it, but we can only get better. So hopefully this helps give you some ideas of what you should bring with you in a fire kit or to build a small fire kit. Nothing in this kit cost very much money. You know, this is 20 bucks. The bellows $7 on Amazon. The flint striker is probably the most expensive thing, and I got that as a gift. I think it's $20 or $30. You know, the tin is, you know, $3 from, I think, Ginger Mints or Junior Mints or something like that. So yeah, so hopefully you enjoyed this and got some ideas, or hopefully it helped you out. And remember to like and subscribe. Thanks.